Welcome FM guys and girls to episode 2 of Garbage to Greatness. This is my European Journeyman save, where we are starting with no coaching badges, no experience, going from the bottom to the very top, hopefully. Like in episode 1 we managed to bag our first job with a team that I can't even pronounce. In this episode we're going to take a look at our squad, set up a tactic and play our first couple of games as manager. Hope you enjoy. Let's run that intro. Okay, so here we are at our squad page, and I don't really have anything to work with here. I haven't had chance. We've come to our first game and I haven't yet had chance to bring any staff in, so I don't have anyone that is going to give me any advice. So I've got no star ratings to go on. So it's literally a case of looking at the players and seeing what I can do, seeing what squad I've, what player coverage I've got, what role coverage I've got, how the team have been playing so far this season. It's a tough one. The reason I haven't brought any staff in yet, just to give you an update on that, is obviously it's been 6 days. I've ended up just sticking out adverts for all the positions. I tried offering a few contracts to a number of assistant managers, coaches, and just simply nobody was interested in joining us. Nobody wants to come and work for an unknown manager at a club that looks like they're destined for relegation, with 15-year-olds playing in their first team. So I've stuck adverts out to see if we get any interest in that respect. But for now, we're going to take a look at the squad and try and pick a team. What I'm going to do, I think is the best starting point for me here, is look at the average ratings of who's played so far. So if I sort the team in that respect, first of all, my best player this season with a 6.88 average rating has been Jimmy Kovalainen. Finnish, central midfielder, creative, good passer, not so good tackler. He's a playmaker. Ultimately, he's got decent off the ball movement, good teamwork, half decent work rate. He's got a little bit of pace about him. he's probably the best we're going to have in this team. So I definitely want to play him 100%. His partner in central midfield is likely to be this guy. It looks like it has been thus far this season. He's played all 16 games, 6.72, second best rating in the team. Niila Forsell, another Finnish player, 20 years old, looks decent all round, probably should be doing better at this level than he is. We have a single assist and no goals from him so far this year, but he looks to be the guy that will play central midfield. So I've got two good central midfielders who ultimately have been my two best players. Right back, this guy's going to be the first choice. He's the third best player in the team based on form so far. He's got some poor mental stats, granted, but he is pacey, and if I pretty much tell him, run down the wing with the ball and try and get crosses in, because you're quick, that's all I'm really expecting you to do. You can tackle, so when you need to, you'll tackle, but get up there, get crosses in. It's gonna be pretty standard here, guys. It's gonna be pretty basic. It's gonna be a basic formation because we've got basic players. We can't go too mental, too mad, and too creative and too out there. So Teddy Johnson is the guy I spotted before. Love his name. Definitely someone that we could remember throughout this save. If he comes in and does a job for me, he's going to be one of our main guys up front, without doubt. So this is already looking like striker, two centre mids, attacking fullback. We don't have, if I now sort by position, what we don't have is a lot of attacking wide midfielders. We have barely any, if any. Lukoki, maybe. Yeah, he plays those roles. He can also play a little bit deeper as a winger. I'm probably looking at a 4-4-2. Keep it simple. Nothing too out there. A little bit basic, I know. But the sort of formation that you can grind out results with. We'll probably look to play quite direct passing. get the ball forward quickly, probably down the wings. So initially, I'm going to go to my tactics screen. I'm going to go create new tactic. Now here it's telling me control possession, gegenpress and tiki-taka are potentially but I think that is just standardly picking the top three. I don't necessarily get the impression these work. So these are usually recommendations that comes from your assistant manager, and I haven't got one. So I don't think it's that. So I'm going to just do create your own style for this one. I'm going to go 4-4-2 initially. Whether that ends up being wingers up here, I'm not sure yet. I haven't decided. That'll look when I look at the players, that'll come together. But to start filling the slots, I'm not going to touch any of this just yet. I'm going to start picking the players. Now, John Urinen's been shocking this season. He's played all 16 games and he's got an average rating of 6.39. I'm dropping him. I'm making a decision as a new manager that comes in. I am making a decision to drop the number one goalkeeper. He ain't good enough. Let's give 19-year-old Rory Berenson a shot. He's got some really bad stats here. But something's got to be done. Something's got to change. We're going to give this kid a chance. Ulrich Verhagen, the guy that we saw before with all the pace. So I'm going to stick him straight in at right back. Up front, we're going to stick in Teddy Johnson. We know he's definitely playing. He's right-footed, so we're going to stick him on the right side up front. Who am I going to pair with him? I mean, if I look at Teddy, he's 5'11". He's pretty strong. He's a decent header of the ball for this level. The other two guys I've got is Adel Haj Osman, who's 5'10". Quite a similar player, looking at him. Looks like he's quite similar. Not the greatest work rate. Teddy Johnson's work rate is poor as well. Hopefully Max Backstrom's work rate is poor as well. So I've got no strikers that work hard. Muscardi, he can play out front. He's got a better work rate. I could go with him. He's just classed as forward rather than striker. But we're going to go with Muscardi. It works. Yeah, he's right-footed. He's not left-footed. So I don't have a left-footed striker up there. But he's a little bit... Muscardi's a bit more of a harder worker. Teddy Johnson is going to be me guy to get him for headers and hopefully a bit stronger to hold up the ball. We're going to go... Where's the man we saw? Jimmy Kovalainen has got to play. He's been the best player in the team. He's the most creative midfielder that we've got. He's got to go in. And Neela Forsell has got to go in next to him. So they're both in. That's filled the two central midfield slots. With regards to centre-backs, they've all been pretty bad. No one's having a good season in that area from looking at the stats. So... And we're pretty limited, to be fair. We don't really have a lot of choice. Rashendrik or Taylor, Dutch, primarily a left-back. Probably going to have to play him. I was wondering if I might get away with playing him at centre-back because it says he can. He is 6'1" as well. I may move him into centre-back. That may change. But we're going to put him in there to start with because Marcus Nordberg is on a 6.39 rating from 9 games. He is not good. Composure's really bad. Concentration really bad. Anticipation really bad. He's not a good player. Not at all a good player. Daniel Adaja. He's English. So we've got an English player at the club. And he don't look terrible. Again, though, he's defensive midfielder. So I am taking a risk because I'm playing two guys at centre-back who don't naturally play there, to start with anyway. So we're going to take a risk on that. Now at left-back, I've got Christian Frigerio. Good tackler, decent crosser. Not the quickest, but does have some pace. Not the greatest work rate. Santeri Circa. Predominantly more right-footed than left-footed, not a left-back. Pretty decent, though, to be fair. It's a shame, really, because two of my better players both play at right-back. So I'm going to play Frigerio for the first game at left-back. just because through limit of choice more than anything else. Which leaves me the 2 winger roles. So what have we got? We've got 2 greyed out players here, which means they're just up from the youth team to fill the squad. So ideally we don't want to be playing them. We know that they're not really good enough. We had a look at Lukoki before. He's right-footed. We're going to be playing wingers, so we're gonna stick him on the right wing. Again, I'm so limited on choice here, guys. I don't really have any other option. Andre Svensson, young attacking midfielder. It's not his ideal position, but we're gonna stick him in. We might even take a bit of a risk. We're gonna put him in. Andre Svensson, so I like, especially with a weaker team where the players aren't great, I want to play him in more natural positions. So I'm going to stick him up in this position and get him coming in as an inverted winger, which then means I can drop. Trying to think. You can see the predicament I'm in, guys. It's not easy. And I'm sure you find yourselves in these situations as well, where you're second guessing yourself. You don't quite know what to do, and that's kind of where I'm at. So I'm looking at Muscardi dropping in here, which is why I put him on deep line forward in support. He can pass. That's fine, because you need a deep line forward that can pass, because they're going to drop in. They're going to link the play. Svensson's going to cut in and support that role as well. It means I need to push Frigerio pushing up down the wing as a wing back, because I'm not going to have anyone covering this wing. So that's got to be done. Down this side, I want Lukoki getting forward as my main winger, and Vertonghen as a fullback on support, because I just want him to come in and support this midfield, because Lukoki's going to be the one that pushes on. Johnson's strong and bigger. So we're going to set him to start with, I think, as a target man, to get the ball up to. In central midfield, Kovalainen's, we already said, he's definitely a playmaker. Can he dribble? He's not a bad dribbler. Do I want him running with the ball? Probably not, because they're not really good enough at this level to be running and dribbling with the ball and doing anything special. Forsell is, to be fair, a bit of an all-rounder. So I'm quite tempted to put him in as a box-to-box. Get him up and down the pitch. That way I should have him running up and down. Kovalainen just sitting in this hole, spraying passes around. Svensson and Muscardi. Muscardi dropping in here. Svensson pushing on. Lukoki going up the wing. Johnson as the main man up front. It's all starting to make sense in my head. Frigerio's coming down the left wing, because we've got no one really covering there with these two. We're not mucking about at central defence. We just want 2 no-nonsense defenders. But their aim, get the ball, win it back, get it out, get rid of it. I'm not mucking about. No sweeper keeper, and goalkeeper on defence are keeping it standard. That's how we're going to set up. With regards to, we're going to start off with a balanced mentality, because we're not good enough to be positive. We're certainly not playing good enough. I don't like cautious. I don't like defensive, because it's just negative from the off. Cautious may work, a counter-attacking style. We may even go for that. We'll start with balanced and see how we go at the start of the game. In possession, I want to play fairly narrow, because we haven't got any cover. We're not covering the whole pitch. Not got inverted wingers. I want to keep things narrow and keep the team passing close together-ish. I'm gonna put slightly more direct passing on, because we're not a great passing. We're a lower level, so we just want to get in the forward from back to front as quickly as possible. Higher tempo. We're not the paciest of teams, so we're not going to pass into space. I don't want a player running onto the ball. I want it to feet. Mixed crosses, because we've got 2 different types of strikers up top. We're not going to play out of defence, and we're not going to work the ball into the box, because we're not passing it around. We're not patient play. We're not possession style of football. What I do want to do is get early crosses into the box, though. I want to get these guys just getting the ball in the box for them 2 strikers. Focus play down right and left, because that's where our attacking threat is. coming down from the right, from the left. Actually, no, do you know what? I'm going to take that off and just see how it goes. I'm going to try and mix up the play, coming in from all different angles. If I see that we're having more success down the wing or through the middle, I may look to focus more. But to start with, and keep like that. I am going to put overlap on the left though, because we've got the wing back on attack. So I do want that ball held up here and passed out to him to cross in. We're going to be more disciplined because we don't have the creativity. We haven't got the flair to be expressive. And we're going to dribble less because we're not a dribbling team. We're not good on the ball. In transition, I want us counter-pressing and counter-attacking. With regards to distribute quickly, yes, and distribute out to the flanks. I want the keeper just getting it and pinging it out to that flank quickly over the top of their attackers that have hopefully just attacked us. Start counter-attacks, just get it up there. Get it up and away from us. Standard defensive line, because we're not quick. I don't want to be pushing right up. And we're just going to play a mid-block, I think, to start with. No, we'll play a high press because obviously we've got the counter-attacking and the counter-press on, so we need to have that. I think for now we'll just have it on more often for pressing, because again the stamina isn't going to be the best amongst these players. I think if we have it on much more often, we're just asking for trouble towards the end of each half with players getting knackered and getting caught out. We are going to prevent short goalkeeper opposition, not a distribution. I'm not sure the opposition is going to be good enough at this level to be passing out from the back, but with two strikers we can certainly stop that happening anyway. And I think we've got a four in midfield here that can win the ball from a header if it comes over the top. And anyway, so we can work with that. Step up more, drop off more. I think drop off more is worth using. Yes, it will invite a bit more pressure, but our defence isn't quick. Daniel Adaja is 8 for acceleration, 10 for pace. Rashendrick or Taylor, I mean, it's 10 and 10. Frigerio, 9 and 12. It's not the worst. But I don't know. Again, I don't know. I'm I'm struggling, guys. It's a really bad team with really limited options. It's not easy. It's definitely going to be a case, I think, of trial and error. So maybe we should just start with things just nice and simple. Not do anything too... we're going to say get stuck in, because down at this level I think you need to be sticking the boot in. Be a little bit more rough and tumble. It can win you games. At this level, I think getting stuck in, being firmer in the tackle, bullying other teams can win you games. So we'll use that, but as far as everything else goes, I'm going to leave it and just try and judge it based on what I see. So that's our tactic. That's how we've got there. That's the lineup. The only thing I am going to do, all my midfielders, I don't want us wasting opportunities. They're all going to be set to shoot less often. So that I don't want us to be wasting silly opportunities, getting forward, and then when we've got an opportunity to play in one of the strikers, we're just wasting it by taking a pop shot from distance. Verhagen again, shoot less often. Both the wing backs, I don't want them getting forward and wasting shots as well. I think everyone else is pretty much set to what I expect them to be. Only Muscardi maybe, dribbling not great, so I'm going to tell him to dribble less. Actually, I'm going to leave that off because I don't feel that I need to, because I've got dribble less on as a whole team. So keeping things pretty simple, that's how it's going to sit to start with. That's how we're setting up for game number 1, which is against another team that I'm struggling to pronounce. Bergnasets, I think it is. Bergnaset. They're currently sitting in 10th. They're not a million miles ahead of us. With regards to points, if we was to win, we'd only be 5 behind them. It's not the toughest game to be kicking things off with, but we have only scored 1 goal in our last 4 games. We haven't won in 6. We've only won 1 all season. We are up against it. But that's the tactic and the lineup for game number 1 in my football management career. Wish me luck, guys. Wish me luck. I think I'm going to need it. So going into the game, we are slight favourites, 7-5. Could just be the home advantage, either that or blind faith in a new manager. But we are the favourites going into this one, so there is hope. There is hope. My first ever pre-match team talk. We are we're all sick and tired of getting bad results. I'm not sure I can go in and say that because I haven't actually been experiencing these bad results. I need to G this team up though. I need to get behind them. I need to motivate them. It's important that we make use of full advantage. No. Enjoy the match. No. Fed up a bad form. No. It's important to make us this a chance to exact revenge. These fans turn up. I want us to improve on our respect. Right. So I'm going to go for, I think we need to show everyone what we're about. And that does seem to have worked. We have motivated pretty much most of the squad. We're going to look at the tactics of our opposition. They're playing a 4-4-2. We're a little bit more asymmetric than them. But clearly their main attack is going to be this guy on the left. Aaron Grape. Let's have a look at him. They've pushed him a little bit more forward. He's only seen as a breakthrough prospect. He's 21. Mental skills are very poor. Bravery 2, strength 3. This guy's gonna. I mean, we're only gonna have to give him a little push of our little finger, and this guy's gonna fall over, and he's not gonna want it anyway. He's so we're gonna push in. We're gonna go in hard on him. We're gonna put him off from the very start. We're gonna make him so he's not up for it. He isn't gonna want to take on our fullbacks because he just hasn't. He don't seem like he's got anything about him at all. Just having another look quickly. He's got a good first touch. He's got a decent pass. We certainly don't want him getting the ball and passing it before any of our players get to him. He's not really going to take people on because he's not brave. He's not the quickest. But he has got a good pass. So I'm going to press on him. So we can get the press on him. We're not going to give him much to do, hopefully. And he looks like he's their main attacking threat. Up front, both their strikers have got no left foot. So we're going to push both of them onto left foot. Try and keep them on their weak side. And that will do for now. I don't like to do too many opposition instructions, mainly because I don't want us to deviate too far away from our own tactics. And I think once we start going into the point of putting in individual instructions on every single player, the team loses shape. They're all doing their own individual thing. They're worried too much about the opposition rather than what we're doing. But we do need to nullify certain threats. So we'll start with that. We go into our match preview for the first game. Now, you will find, since we did the tactic a little while ago, I have made one very, very slight change. We've had overnight. You'll see I've changed clothes. These videos are made up, obviously, as and when I can find time to play. So we've just moved over in the middle here. We've put Teddy Johnson more in the middle. And we've just moved Muscardi over to the right a little bit. So it makes it a little bit more asymmetry. And that's only because I've got Svensson cutting in. I did have Muscardi on the left side of the striking partnership as a deep line. So I didn't want him dropping back and Svensson coming in and then both covering the same space. This way, Svensson's got more space to run into because there's no one that he's going to cross over with. Muscardi can drop in here. Hopefully Forsell as the box-to-box and Lukoki as an attacking winger will run on beyond him. So he can drop in, pull the defender out. The idea is these two are going to run in beyond. Teddy Johnson is in the centre for all the crosses coming from either side. Frigerio is going to get down the left, cross it in. He's on an attack duty. Svensson's going to cut in. I mean, hopefully I'll have 3 up front at some point, or 2 sitting just behind Teddy Johnson as the target man. But that's the thinking. They're playing a flat 4-4-2. We're at home. We've got advantage. Can I get off to a winning start with Ito Hugdal? We'll kick off the game. So we've got this on key highlights. So there is something from the off. I'm just going to being our first game, guys, I've just got to set my speeds and set up my cameras. So we're on TV. I like the TV camera view. I think it gives a good overview of the pitch. We're gonna bear with me a minute, guys. I like to be lower down. I want to zoom in a bit more when we get back to the highlights. We've had the first shot of the game. We've got no possession, but the opening eight games we have had the first shot. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more. We've got a corner. Kovalainen crosses in from the right, and they've managed to head it away. Now, hopefully, we aren't going to get counter-attacked here. You just have to bear with me, guys. I just want to set my camera up to one that I like. That'll do ya. Okay. So I think I'm happy with my camera angles. I've got all my screens already set up that I like. I like to see the stats. I like to see match momentum. We've got another corner. Kovalainen's going to swing this one in from the right. Can we get off to a... Oh, Forsell. It's a good chance. It's a good chance. We seem to be on top at the moment. The momentum's with us. We've had 4 shots. They haven't created a single chance yet. Kovalainen inside. Win that header. Well done. Forsell. Come on, pick this up, son. Forward to Kovalainen, back to Forsell. Nope, he's put it forward to Teddy Johnson. He's not going to make that. He's not quick. He's a target man. Needs it into his feet. But I'm liking the look of the way that we're set up. The way the tactics set up, it looks like we've got plenty of options going forward. We've got passing options. Kovalainen seems to be dominating midfield at the moment in the opening 15 minutes. Lukoki's in from the right. Teddy Johnson, it's a poor shot. It's a poor shot. But we're making chances. There's lots to be excited about in the opening game. Svensson crossed in. Muscardi drops off. Nope. Lukoki picks it up. Forsell with a... I don't know if that was a shot or a pass. I think it was a poor shot. And we're on the ascendancy again. Frigerio's cut inside from left full-back position. Kovalainen. Back to Frigerio. He's put it through to Svensson. Come on, son. Come on. Oh, how's he missed? How's Svensson... Oh, he was offside anyway. It was offside anyway, but ours he missed. He should be tucking that way. It was well wide as I weren't even close. Weren't even close. Dodgy keeper punches it out. Lukoki's picked it up. Forsell shoots. That looks like it's going out for a throw-in. Okay, so we got a throw in the final third. Nothing come of it because there was no highlight. Looks like they may be... on the attack for the first time in the game after 25 minutes, but we've won the ball back. Forsell out to Frigerio. Frigerio out to Johnson, back to Kovalainen. Kovalainen back to Johnson. Johnson's in. He's missed. It's poor. It's a poor shot. I thought he was in. You can see his lack of pace. You can see that he had the beating of the defenders there, but they were very, very quickly back and on him. It looked like he panicked when they did get back into position. But we're playing well. We're playing well. Johnson again, nope. Lukoki. That was ambitious. I'll tell you, if that had gone in, that could have been our very first goal as a manager. Could have been an absolute worldie if that had gone in. Really good. Kovalainen picks up over the top. Muscardi, no. Lukoki again. Get down that right wing, son. Get down that wing. He's cut back. He's cut inside. Kovalainen back to Lukoki. It's a left-footed effort. It's gone over. It's a poor shot. But again, it's another chance. We do need to take one of these. We're completely in control of the game, but we need to put one of these away. There on you watch them score with their first shot. It would not surprise me. It'd be just typical, wouldn't it? We've absolutely dominated for 34 minutes. They're seeing a little bit of the ball for the first time. Lance coming down the left, out to Great, who looked like their main man. We've kept him quiet so far. And again, we win the ball back. Lukoki's got the beating of Great. Go on. No, he's passed it back. For Hagen up to Johnson. Johnson will win that. Muscardi. Put Johnson in. Johnson's in. I thought he scored. I'm not quite sure how that's gone over. That was great football. Great link-up play down the right-hand side. Johnson was in. And somehow he's put it over. Kovalainen seems to be, judging so far, after one half of football being judged. Lukoki's Johnson, straight at the keeper. But as I was saying, Kovalainen seems to be dominating the midfield. Everything is going through him. He's on a 7.0. Lukoki's having a banger down the right as well. 7.5 for him. We've had 11 shots at half-time. They've had 1. We've got an XG of 1.42. Yes, they've had a bit more possession, but they haven't had a single highlight. They've not had a single decent chance at a goal. Everything we're doing is right. apart from putting the ball in the back of the net. Teddy Johnson hasn't had the best of games so far. We're going to stick with him. He's getting in the right positions. We just need him to put one away. So, I'm proud of everyone's efforts so far. Keep going, we can win this. I'm actually going to be a little bit more cautious in my approach. Hands together. Hands clasped cautiously. So a cautious approach, and we're going to say don't lose faith. We've created as many chances as we need to be ahead, so keep going. The scoreboard will eventually reflect it. Just keep doing what you're doing. Teddy Johnson and Svensson are the only players that aren't really... Forsell's not having a great go. I'm going to tell them they're not being good enough. They're all looking fired up. That's great. Getting exactly the response I want to see. Let's get back out there for this second half. Let's get a goal in the first 15 minutes, boys. Let's settle things down. Let's get ourselves in front and see this game out. On the first half, we should be 2-3 ahead. We've had good chances. Good chances. Muscardi gives the ball away to Lance, and that fizzles out quite quickly. So, I fancy this. I'm feeling quietly confident in the early stages of this second half that we can definitely get off to a winning start here. But we are 15 minutes in. There's not really been a single highlight. There's not much going. They've got a free kick. This is dangerous. That's all right. Worrell's put it over. But at the moment, we just need to put one of these chances away. We've kept Grape completely out of the game. He's on a 6.3 for them. He's been terrible. The main man that we focused on in our opposition instructions. So that's worked. He says as he's got the ball. You watch him score a worldie now. Just be typical. No, Kovalainen's dispossessed him of the ball. That's fine. Hoof's at our field and they're back on the attack. Come on, boys. We're not on it in this second half. Tell the lads I want to see a bit more. Let's demand a bit more. Might be time for a change in a minute. Over the top. Johnson's in for them. Their best chance of the game, but or Taylor gets back and makes the block. Well done, son. Don't get caught out. That's good defending. That's decent. That's decent. It was offside anyway, but it's decent. Let's have a look. It might be time for a change. 6.2. Svensson's struggling. He's really struggling. Only problem is I haven't really got anyone I can bring on for him. We've got Circa. Now he's predominantly a right back, but he can play left wing and right wing. So we'll take a punt because Svensson's playing so badly. Circa can't come on and do any worse. We're going to drop him back. Because that position wasn't working before. We're keeping him on as an inverted winger. No, actually, we're going to put him on as a support winger. We'll get these two up front more open because we've brought this back. We're going to go to a flat 4-4-2 for the last 19 minutes. See if a more conventional tactic can produce a goal. We've dominated the game, although the second half they've definitely been better. Nouri fires just over from a free kick. Their best chances have come from set pieces. They've had a couple of free kicks. They've fired another one in now. We've defended that quite comfortably. Forsell out to Kovalainen. Let's catch him on the counter, boys. Come on. Muscardi. He's got plenty of support. There's 3 guys running through the middle. 3 in the middle. 2 at the back post. Forsell. We're totally overloaded. Forsell! Bottom left corner. What a goal. What a goal. If we had not made the most of that attack, I would have been gutted. Muscardi here has the ball down the right wing. We have 3 in the middle running in. They've only got 2 centre-backs. Their midfield are nowhere to be seen. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players entering their box against 3 defenders. Now, if that's not counter-attacking football at its best, I don't know what is. And that is a banger of a goal to score. And we are 10 minutes away from winning our opening game of the season. My opening game for this club. My opening game of my career. Teddy Johnson to make it 2. Come on, son. You're better than that. But yeah, we're now 9 minutes away from winning our opening game. Only the club's second win all season, if we can hold on. 5.5 minutes plus injury time. Nothing stupid. He says they're in. Can they get the equal? No, that's all right. They've wasted it. Barronson stands his ground, makes the save. It was relatively simple. I think there was a wasted chance by them more than a good save by us, but we'll take it. Circa, the substitute, pings it down the left. Come on, Johnson, push that ball. You can see that they've gone to a bit more of a long ball approach by the looks of it. Kovalainen looking for Muscardi, but that's cut out. They're on the attack again, but we've got back. Forsell's done a good job as a box-to-box in there. He's on a 7.3 rating. He's had a good game. He's playing that box-to-box role well. Lukoki down the right. Been quite impressed of him. He's had a good game as well. He's done well down that right. And Kovalainen's in. Man deserves a goal, and he gets one. Top corner. Without doubt, Jimmy Kovalainen has been the best player on the pitch today, in my opinion, from what I've seen. And that goal caps off a great performance. Linking up with Teddy Johnson. Nice little touch. Kovalainen's in. Top corner. Top corner. Top left corner. Keeper no chance. 2-0. Should be 3 points in the bag. And it'll be well deserved. We've had 17 shots to their 6. 44% possessions. It's been relatively even on possession. I'm not too worried about that. We're not playing a possession game. We're not playing short passing. We're playing direct passing. We're playing counter-attacking football. We've played it well in this game. Lukoki could get a goal to cap off his performance, but it's headed away. We're just seeing this out now. Just keeping the corner. Muscardi, to be fair, that would have capped things off nicely. But we'll take it. That's got to be the end. There is a corner. We won't even get time for the corner. 2-0. Second victory of the season. First victory in my first game in charge. That is in front of a massive attendance of 49 people. The not so special one has arrived in Sweden. It is official. I have arrived and we have a win. For a team that predominantly had only had one win all season so far. What is that going to do for the league table? We will see. That moves us. We are still 13th, but that moves us within 3 points of safety. Within 5 points of Bergneset, who are our opponents today. We're moving on up. We're moving on up. A perfect start. I'm well chuffed. Well chuffed. Well pleased with that. Very, very happy manager. We'll talk to the press. I'm surprised that we're getting press at this game. It's got to be local press when there's only 49 fans there. But we're going to talk to them. We're going to big up the boys as best we can. You successfully put one over on Eric Torstensen, despite not having been in job very long and generally lacking experience. That's got to feel good. I'm very pleased with the victory, first and foremost. It doesn't matter who it came against. Let's focus on the boys. That has to be a satisfying win for you. I'm very happy we did everything we set out to do and proved to be by far the better team. I think that's bang on. Nice to get off to a winning start. I couldn't be happier. It was a great way to start. You must be delighted at having finally ended an extended run of 6 games without a victory. What effect will this have on the team going forward? It's certainly a weight off our collective shoulders, and hopefully we can go on and make it count by picking up a few more decent results like this one. How much did you enjoy Ismail Ngidi Lukoki's performance? I thought he was mustard. He's quality, and I think everyone knows that. Your team won today despite some debatable decisions from the match officials. Didn't really notice that. Not going to get involved in that right now. I don't want to overlook those decisions just because we won. No, I'm not saying that. I'm really only concentrating on what we can control. We won, and I'm happy. After a refereeing performance that were generally, they're very much focused on the referee. Look, we've just won our second game of the season. I've just won my first game in charge, and you're talking about the ref. I'm just going to put, look, at the end of the day, are you trying to put words in my mouth? Just let's talk about the football, guys. There are rumours that you are still in the market for another player. I desperately do need to add a couple of players, certainly in the winger areas. Budgets are going to be tight. I do want to. Do you think you'll be bringing new faces in? I'm not going to discuss anything today. I just want to focus on the lads that just went out there and got us a massive win. You clearly like to keep your cards close to your chest. I'm just going to say you've answered your own question. I like to keep my cards close to my chest. So stop banging on about it. Well happy. Well pleased. Lukoki's been pinpointed. I'm going to give him. He played 7 key passes in that game. Was unlucky not to get an assist. Unlucky not to get a good goal. You were superb with the number and quality of chances. Keep it up. Pat him on the shoulder. He's happy. He's got a little bit of extra praise. That should give him a confidence boost. On to game 2. IFK Lulia. They're third in the table, 37 points. They're going to be tough to beat. They've only lost 2 all season. Lost 2 all season, won 11, drawn 4. Recent form for them, they haven't lost in 4, 8, 11 games. This is going to be a completely different game to the one that we've just played. We know that. We can see that. They don't concede many goals. Nobody's had 2 past them since that defeat 11 games ago. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 clean sheets in that time. This is going to be a much, much tougher game. But we're confident. We've won our first game in charge. I've got a 100% record. We're 1 from 1 under the not so special one. On we go. As expected, although we're at home, we're massive, massive outsiders. 7-2 to take a win in this game. 11-4 for the draw. 8-11 odds on for Lalea, the away team. I think here we just need to go out there and just tell the lads to give it their best shot. There's a few nerves around the players. Andre Svensson, Rory Berenson in goal. Not going to put any pressure on whatsoever. So we want to sort of go out there and say, look, if you can, everyone expects us to lose here, prove them wrong. There's no pressure on us. We're just going to go out there and say the pressure's all on them. What have we got to lose? Go out and cause an upset. Let's focus on putting the pressure on them. Like, tell the lads, I'm not too worried about the result. We're going to tell the defenders I've got faith in them, because we're going to need to be at our best at the back today. Andre Svensson, I'm going to tell him there's no pressure. He seems relaxed now. He's not so nervous, which is good. We've got that. Let's look at their opposite. Let's look at the opposition. Let's look at their setup. See if they've got any weaknesses. Again, the striker's got a weak left foot. We'll push him onto that straight away. Let's not get him on his right where he's good. As far as that, they've got wingers. Out and out winger on the right, who's going to be looking to get crosses in. We're going to try and push him inside onto his left foot. We're not going to let him get down that right wing. With regards to his crossing a bit, he is a good crosser of the ball. He's relatively quick as well for this level. So we're going to try and press him. We're going to try and press and stop those crosses coming in. Adam Forsman on the other side is probably a little bit less of a threat. We're just going to leave him for now. We're going to focus on these two. Nils Nilsson is relatively quick as well, 5'11". Not the greatest header, so even if the crosses do come in, I'm not sure if he's going to get them, but they may look to play low ones and get him in that respect. So we're going to leave him for now. So we're just going to stick with that on the opposition and see how that goes to start with. We've got the exact same lineup, exact same setup as the last game. Everyone's recovered well. We've had a whole week since the first game, so no changes made. Hopefully, we can produce another massive performance. We've got the kick. It seemed like a bit of a silly foul early in the game from Svensson. He's actually pushed the geezer over. 3 minutes in, we're on the Verhagen down the right. Lukaku, the Verhagen. I'm not sure what happened there. It didn't look like he quite got his shot away. I think that was a bit of a scuffed effort, but it's promising. We were certainly in their half early on, but they do have a corner now. Pettersson with the corner for Lalea. At the near post, and it hits the post. I think we got away with one. He's hit the post. It's a good header. They're fully on the ascendance in the opening 15 minutes. All the momentum's with them. They've had about 70% possession, but on the break, Teddy Johnson, he's been blocked. Thought we might nick one against the runner play in the early stages. We've got a corner. Kovalainen's going to take this. Swinging it in from the right. It's going to be an outswinger. Johnson, no, I was hoping Johnson was going to get out with the back post. We may rely on a goal or two from a set piece in this game if we're going to get anything from it. We know we're going to be under the cosh. Nielsen's in for the Deja. That is quality defending. Just get it away. Nice tracking back. Verhagen, Kovalainen. Note they're in. Nielsen. They're 1-0 down. 1-0 down. Nils Nielsen. It's a good finish. we were a little bit. I'd like to see the replay. I always like to look at these and see if there's anywhere where we sort of faltered. We did our bit defensively there. To be fair, I think it's just lucky that it's fallen to Chatty. He's played it straight through the gap in the middle to Nielsen. It's a good finish. Not convinced there's a lot we could have done about that. We are going to come up against this. We know that. We're looking at this team. We know we're going to come up against teams that have got better quality than what we're offering. We know that. We know that's going to happen. And I think that was just the first example of that, really, since I've taken over, happening there. 7 minutes to go. We're only 1-0 down. We are limiting them. They've only had 4 shots in the whole half. We're not being completely dominated here. We're still in the game. Ball over the top. Forsell to Muscardi. Forsell. Verhagen. Verhagen to Ortega. Up to Svensson. Svensson looked like he was fouled. The ref's not given anything. And they've now got the ball. If they score from this, it looked like there was a foul there on Svensson. Shah down the right for them. Into Nielsen, the goal scorer. And nicely away. Atayev. Oscarson crossed into Nielsen. He's got his second. That might put the game out of reach of us going into the second half. We look like we're going to go in the break at 2-0 down. Atayev played it out wide. Oscarson, he's got a good crossing. Nielsen's got in front of his man. Probably would have been looking for a little bit better from Adasia there. Nielsen's got in front of him a little bit too easily. We're 2-0 down. Like I said, we have limited them, but they've taken their chances well. Hopefully this isn't going to be 3 just before the break. Defend this corner. Give ourselves at least a chance. No, it is 3. Lundgren scored from the header. It's a dejecting first half for us. I've got to admit, they've had 3 good chances. They've taken all 3. It's gutting. It's not ideal. But they're one of the best sides in the league. So I'm not really sure what much we could do. I don't want to lay into the lads. We're 3-0 down, but I don't want to completely lay into them. Some of these responses are so harsh. I don't think we've passed it very well. So I will say that I'm disappointed with the quality of passing. It's been far too sloppy and needs to improve. We've not been great at the back. I'm going to tell them we have been unacceptable there. But other than that, let's try and give Teddy Johnson a boost. Keep going, you've got the ability. And let's try and give the midfield a boost. That has sort of picked some of the lads up. I'm not going to change anything tactically right now. We're not playing great, but I don't think it's us. I think it's more the fact that they're very good. Let's see if we can produce something a little bit more. If we could get a goal, just in the first 5 or 10 minutes, if we could just get a goal. Verhagen to Forsell to Lukoki, that's poor pass. Considering I just said I wanted to see better passing, that's poor. Adasia to Johnson. Again, that's poor. It's a header down straight to them. They're going to catch us on the counter-attack. They're going to have a chance here. Forsman into Nielsen, and it's 4-0. It's really bad. It was our own downfall there. It's just poor in the centre of the park there. We just give the ball twice. Gave the ball away far too easily. Counter-attack. Nielsen's destroying us, to be fair, up front. We're struggling here. We are struggling. So from the jubilation of a 2-0 win in my opening game, we are getting absolutely hammered in my second game in charge. It's not sure how much of a difference it's going to make, but Teddy Johnson's having a really bad game up front. He's coming off. Osman's coming on. We'll go to more of an advanced forward position on him. I'm not sure, like I said, how much difference it's going to make at this stage. Svensson, who had a really bad first game, was subbed off. He's having a really bad second game. He's coming off for Circa again. We're going to drop him back in again. It seemed to work when we scored the 2 goals in the first game. Bringing Circa on and dropping him back, and then the 2 strikers, that seemed to produce the 2 goals. Like I said, I mean, I'm under no illusions that we're going to go out there and score 4 now. If we could just nick a goal, maybe 2. No, I'm being really hopeful when I say that. It might be a little confidence boost at least to go into the next game with. If we get spanked 6 or 7 here, that's gonna be that's gonna hurt. That's really gonna hurt. I mean, we've conceded 4 goals, but they've only had 8 shots. Osman's in. Looked like he was in. It was a half chance. It is a shot. It's nice to get a shot after making the changes straight away. Initially, it gives us some hope that it might have a positive effect. We're now 65 minutes, so we've got 25 minutes of the game to go. Osman again. Out to Lukoki. Lukoki puts Osman in. Get a goal. Get a goal. Nah, he should have done. Should have done better. It's a really bad shot. It's a really bad shot. It's weak. It's not hard. It's pretty much straight at the goalkeeper. Their keeper's now hoofed it over the top. Begliardi. Back to Forsman. I mean, when I look at our tactic here when they're on the attack, we look pretty nicely compact. Positioning wise, we look okay. I think they've just been really good. I think they're just a really good team that's opened us up. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to take these off to extended onto key highlights, not just for this game. And to be fair, while I was doing that, Santeri Circa has scored. They're classing it as a wonderful goal. I weren't really looking at it because I was dicking about with my settings. So let's have another look. Muscardi, it's a hopeful for a ball. Defenders, that's great. To be fair, that's a great finish. I know the goal's open. I know there's no keeper. And it is a defensive error. But that is a finish and a half from Circa. On the volley with his left foot. I know all he's got to do is get it on target, but that's decent. That kid is looking like he's earning his way into my team. With Svensson being so poor in 2 games, he may get a look in. Circa might get a start in the next game. He came on in the last game, we scored 2. He's come on and scored here. Circa again for Muscardi. He nearly got himself... If Muscardi had finished there, which he should have done, to be fair, Circa would have had an assist to his name as well. He's on a 7.6 rating. The lad's doing well. Kovalainen's crossed it in. Since I made the changes, we seem to have been on top. So, gives me something to think about. We've had all the momentum in the second half. We've had a really good second half. We've brought it back on the stats. We've had 9 shots now to their 11. Based on that second half performance, we did not deserve to lose that game 4-1. It's a weird thing to say, but losing 4-1, I actually feel like I've got plenty to take away from that. I feel like I've got that. We can take confidence from that. There's good points to take from that. It's hard to know what to say in these situations. We could have moved that in the relegation zone. At this point, we didn't. We weren't good enough. We could have moved that in the relegation zone, but we've let a chance go begging. I don't really want to sound proud because I don't think we were good in certain areas. I'm going to say we've let the chance go begging. That has left them motivated. I am going to lay into the 2 strikers. Muscardi and Johnson weren't good enough. Svensson, really poor with. He's appeared to lack belief. You scored a 6.0, mate, and I tore you apart full time for it, and you appear to lack belief. This guy's getting dropped for the next game. Andre Svensson is not going to be starting the next game. I mean, don't get me wrong, the kid's 15. I might be asking a bit much of him, but I am very limited on options. I haven't really got a choice. But 15-year-old kids out in Sweden's 4th tier are probably begging for an opportunity. Probably thinking like, this could be the start of a career. I've got an opportunity to play first team football. And this lad just has got, he's just showing me none of that. So that's it. That's game 2. It's a big defeat. Positives to take going into game 3. Bearing in mind as well, I've still got no staff. I still haven't had any applications come back on my adverts yet. Still can't convince anyone to join the club. So it's still just me. I'm a one-man band running the whole show by myself. It's not been the worst start in the world. It's not been the worst. So it's not been too bad. 2 games in, a win, a loss. Played one of the best teams in the league. Lost, yeah, granted. We that most would have seen that coming. We didn't deserve to lose 4-1. Going into episode 3, there's reasons to be optimistic that we can get this team out of trouble. This is what Journeyman saves are all about. Playing 15-year-old kids because you've got no one else. Having a really, really bad team. Really small team. Banging trouble in relegation. This is what it's all about. This is why we play Journeyman Saves. So that was another episode of Garbage to Greatness. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, please do hit that subscribe button. I'm really trying to build these subscribers. Lots more coming on the YouTube channel. Episode 3 of Garbage to Greatness will be following pretty shortly. But thanks, guys, for being here. And thanks again for following.